გამარჯობა მეგობრებო. კიდევ ერთხელ მადლობა რომ შემომიერთდით. Thanks again for joining me. In this video, I wanted to translate an article or just a small little post that I found on the USAID Georgia Facebook page. I think it's a good source of it's a good source to find little blurbs where you can find a little thing in Georgian, and then also below it you can see the translation. It's not always word for word translated, so um, it's something you have to. Hey, looks like someone's joined us. How's it going? Um, yeah, I think it's just a good source of something to translate. So anyway, I would recommend that. So in this article, last week I had talked about this woman. This is Elizabeth Rood. She is the charge d'affaires at the U.S. Embassy in Georgia, and she just spoke at a conference about hate speech. So that's what this article is talking about. So that's kind of the background. Some things to listen for, especially if you're very new. I think one of the easiest ways to listen for words is listening for cognates. So for instance, in here you'll hear Amerikis, which is linked to America. You'll hear Shtatebi, which is like state. You can look for words ASHSH, that's just the abbreviation for the United States of America. Besides that, maybe any other basic words you may have learned in the past. So I'm going to read aloud the portion in Georgian first and try to look for main ideas. You can pause the video if you want to later on after I finish it. You can read the translation that I have. You can also go back and listen to different portions again. And then after that, I will go over the vocab and the grammar. So I didn't use this exact translation here because it's kind of more of a meaning for meaning translation as opposed to word for word, which I think is not quite as helpful for people just starting out. So let's go back here. So I copied the the Georgian in here, and so let's read the Georgian part. So starting from the beginning here. გამოხატვის თავისუფლებას საქართველო და ამერიკის შეერთებული შტატები ადამიანის და თავისუფალი საზოგადოების საფუძვლად მიიჩნევენ. Second paragraph. დღეს აშშ ელჩის მოვალეობის შემსრულებელმა ელიზაბეთ რუდმა სიძულვილის ენასთან დაკავშირებულ კონფერენციაზე მიმართა დამსწრე საზოგადოებას და აღნიშნა, რომ აშშ მთავრობა მხარს უჭერს სიძულვილის ენის შეზღუდვას თავისუფალი სიტყვის შეუზღუდავად. Third paragraph. კონფერენცია სიძულვილის ენა გამოწვევები და საერთაშორისო გამოცდილება საერთაშორისო გამჭირვალობა საქართველოს ორგანიზებით და USAID-ის კანონის უზენაესობის პროგრამის ხელშეწყობით გაიმართა. All right, so that's the Georgian portion. And again, it's kind of just talking about the charge d'affaires, this woman Elizabeth, who spoke at this conference about free speech or hate speech, rather. So let's kind of go through, starting with the first paragraph again. Let me just minimize that. All right. So გამოხატვა is to express. So we have here in the first paragraph, გამოხატვის თავისუფლებას. Now, the reason why I underlined it together is so that you can see that that's kind of one thing it's talking about, which is the expression of freedom or freedom of expression. And I think that's important because one of the things I really struggled with early on was that I didn't know which words connected with which words. And so one of the keys is to see that here, გამოხატვა is changed into the possessive case. And we know that because it's this ხატვის, so გამოხატვის. And so if you have something in the possessive case, it doesn't stop there. It's describing the thing next to it, right? So it's the expression of freedom here. Okay? Now, we notice that it's that თავისუფლება, so I have it here, თავისუფლება is freedom, but it's თავისუფლებას. So that means it's, in this case, it's in dative case. Now, in this sentence here, I'll just skip to the end of the sentence, but this word michneven is here, michneva, to consider. And it's the third person plural, so michneven. So they are considering this expression of freedom. And how do we know that? Because this verb here, the structure, the object, so I'll write it out for you. So in this case, the subject equals nominative, and the object equals dative. Okay, so that's the case structure there. So continuing on, we see Sakartvelo. So that's in nominative. So that's Georgia. Sakartvelo is Georgia, and it's in nominative. So we know that that's the subject in this sentence. So Georgia and Amerikis. So again, possessive. So it's not a standalone. It's connecting the thing next to it. Sheertebuli, which is like united, and that's an adjective. So again, that's describing the thing next to it. Shtatevi. And now we finally have a noun. So the America United States, so United States of America. So that's one thing together. And so this again is in nominative. So we have Georgia and the United States. That's our subject. Adamianis, again, possessive, so it's not ending there. Da tavisupali, so this is an adjective. This is freedom. So it's related to tavisupleva. I'll write that here. Tavisupleva is freedom, or the noun. We have tavisupali is free as an adjective. So free society, Sazogadowa is society, and it's possessive. So again, it's connecting the thing here. So these are all connected. Saputzvlad. Okay, so that's a tricky one. So it comes from the word saputzveli, which is base or foundation. And saputzvlad is an adverb, so as a foundation. So generally, adverbs have this sort of ad ending, a and de. So in this case, an adverb is describing how something is done, right? So so again, so Georgia and America are considering the expression of freedom as a foundation to persons and free societies. I think it probably should be Tavisupalia Damianis da Sazogadovis, but anyway, so that's the sentence. As a basic condition for individual liberty and maintaining a free society. So, all right, let me just double check if anyone messaged. Hey everyone, feel free to ask questions if you have any. I think that's one of the reasons why I decided to do it live, because I thought people could jump in if they had anything they wanted to ask. All right, I'll put that. Okay. So the second paragraph, dress. So again, in this document, I made the words in red, things that you should really know in the beginning, because this could be a lot. You know, we're covering cases, we're covering different words, we're covering different parts of speech. So these red ones are ones that I would probably focus on if you're getting overwhelmed. Okay, so dress. Dress is today. And I should highlight that one because you should definitely know that. So dre, there we go. So dre is day, and dress means today. So dress, asheshe elchis, movaleobi shem shrule belma. So again, this is possessive, so it's modifying the thing next to it. This is possessive, it's modifying the thing next to it. So elchi is the ambassador. So the ambassadors, movaleobis, it's like assignment. Movaleoba is assignment. So the shimsrulebeli is, I covered this in the last video, which was, if you didn't see it, Şesruleba is to complete something. And when we have this m in the middle here and an l sort of ending, it becomes a person who's doing something. So in this case, it's the person who's completing the assignment of the ambassador. So that's all one thing. Okay? Now, I highlighted this ma here in green and ma here. So Elizabeth Rood ma. So Elizabeth Rudi is the person, so Elizabeth Rood. But ma is because it's an ergative case. Now, ergative marks the subject. Okay, so I'll write this down. I'm a visual learner, so it's always helpful for me to write things down. But in the past tense, for this, I call it kind of one of the biggest, probably the biggest category of verbs. For let's just say for many verbs. For many verbs, the subject is in ergative case. Okay. And that's usually marked by a ma. So let's continue. Sidzuwilis. So Sidzuwili is Sidzuwili. Here we go. Sorry, some of it's not quite in order, but Sidzuwili is hate. Okay. Enastan dakavshirebul kompetensiaze. So one of the things I wanted to point out is tan dakavshirebu or dakavshirebuli. It means something that's related to, and it's fairly common. You'll hear it, but those two things go together. So in this case, it's Sidzuwilis enastan, which is hate speech. So ena is tongue or language or speech. So again, this is in possessive. It's marked by this is, and it's the hate speech, ena. Tan dakavshirebul, so it's connected to or associated with. Competencia, that's a conference, and ze. So I highlighted ze because that's a very important ending you should know, which it's put at the end of a place that you're doing an action at. So, another ending, you could have she if you're going somewhere, but sometimes it's ze. I won't go into the differences of the two, but know that that's a common ending, something you should listen out for. So mi Marta, this is finally our verb, and it means to address. So mi Marteba, to address. So damstre is an adjective. It's talking about like people who are attending. It comes from the word dasreba. Sadzogadoeba is society or the public. So she addressed the people who were attending. I'm not sure why it's in dative. Anyway, the Algnishna, and she emphasized Algnishna. Here to emphasize. It's I find that this is common in news articles or kind of more formal writing. Rome, that, Ashisha, again, the United States, Tavroba Mkharsuchers. So here, this is a good one to know. So Dachera is to catch or to hold, and Makhari is shoulder. So Makhari is shoulder, and it's in dative Makhars because this is in present. So Makhars Uchers. So it's literally holding the shoulder, and it means to support. Just checking if anyone had any questions. All right, let's continue. Sorry, this video is getting a little long. I didn't anticipate it to be this long, almost 15 minutes, but it's kind of a lot in here. So we have the American government is supporting Sidzuwilis Eni Shezguldwas. Okay, so this is all one thing here. Shezgudwa is to limit. So again, possessive case. Possessive case, finally a noun in dative case. So it's all one thing. So it's the limiting of hate speech. Tavisupali, we already said that was freedom. Sitwis comes from the word, it says sitwa, which is word. So free words. And sheuzgudavad. Okay, so that's something I wanted to point out here. This is kind of one of those word buildups that you can find often in Georgian. So we have the word shezgudwa is to limit. The adjective is shezguduli. And when you want to make it negative, in this case, there's a little u in here that makes it sheuzgudavi. So it's like unlimited. Limited. And we change this word into an adverb. So this is an adjective, and this is an adverb by adding this ad ending here. Ad. Not odd as in strange, but ad here. So what it's saying is that she's saying, yeah, so they support the efforts to address hate speech in a way, that's why this is an adverb, in a way that preserves freedom of speech. Okay. Competencia, siduilis, competencia, we already said that was conference. Siduilis ena, again, possessive and a noun, so it's hate speech. Gamot uevebi, challenges da, serta shoriso gamos dileba, serta shoriso gam chervalova sakartvelos organizebit. So again, this is an adjective and a noun, so it's together. Adjective, noun, noun. Instrumental, so this is something I want to point out. So again, this to here, organizebit, it's by their organization or with their, they were the ones who organized it, which is this Transparency International. So international. Gamchirwalba is transparency, Sakartvelo, Georgia. The USAIDs, Kanonis, this is law. Uzena esobis, again, one of those word buildups. So the word uzena esoba comes from the word zena. That's the word in the middle here. Zena means upper or top. Now there's this pattern where you have u and esi at the end, and you get the most upper, uzena esi. And then you can make it into a noun by adding an oba at the end, and you get uzena esoba. So that's how you get the most upper or supremacy. All right, program is Helshetsqobit, which means by their assistance. Gai Marta, it was conducted. All right, so that was a rather long video. I didn't intend to be that long, and I think it was maybe not quite as clear as I would have liked it to be, but if you have any feedback, any questions, let me know. I like doing these videos because I think, one, is good practice for me to practice my reading, but it was a way that I early on found it was very helpful because I could see the words, I could work out my grammar, and it was something I did with my tutor often. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I know it's a lot, especially if you're starting out, to think about the meaning and the different cases and the different parts of speech and the different ways that words are built up. But I don't know, take it one step at a time, take it slow, and ask questions if you have them. So, all right, well, until next time, droibit.